Hey everybody, this is Robert with Sigma 3 Survival, and I wanted to talk about a little bit different subject today than our normal wilderness or urban survival stuff. We're going to talk a little bit about survival gardening and some techniques that you can use in order to enhance what your garden is already doing for you. Your garden is already a natural bait source for all types of animals, and I don't care whether you've got a garden in the city or if you've got a garden, way out in the country, you're going to have problems with animals. I mean, I've seen it firsthand where large deer will come and move in on someone's garden right in the city and literally demolish them. There's rabbits, birds, woodchucks, possums, skunks. I mean, just about every kind of animal you can think of that lives in the woods lives in the city as well. They've learned to survive and adapt just as we have for our environment. So today I'm going to cover just a couple techniques that I use to put some meat on the table because your garden's not only good for vegetables, it's the best bait source you're ever going to have for getting the animals. And one of the animals that we took recently was this bad boy. It's about a 20 pound woodchuck, and that's pretty good eating right there. I mean, you start catching rabbits and all kinds of different things. You can use everything from conibears to box traps, snares. You can do deer snares. There's a lot of different ways that you can put meat on the table. So hang with me, and we're going to go check out some of the traps that I've set up, and I'll show you how it's done. Alright, so our first trap that we're going to talk about is going to be a trail set conibear, and as you can see there's a large thicket that runs parallel to the garden, and what you do is you just look for tracks, look for sign, and I found a trail coming through here, and so set up a conibear, and I promise you these things are amazingly effective. That woodchuck that wiped out an entire row of broccoli in 2 nights, I got him with only 3 traps, and it was on a trail set. But what I'll do to kind of, make my odds better is you see these little apple slices. We've got a little apple tree here in the area, and I'll just put that in the area, something to kind of attract them. They're going to be in this general vicinity anyway, but you want to catch their nose if at all possible. And you want to bait it with something that's not easily accessible to him because the apples haven't started falling yet. So, he was more than happy to take a little bite of them. And you want to make sure that you add a top rail so that they can't climb over the device, and make sure you stake it off real well on both sides. And what happens is he'll just come through and trip the trigger, and boom. He's a dead duck. So it's just that simple. Conibear traps cost less than $10, and I guarantee you, I mean, they'll last for decades if you take care of them. And this is something that you can continually put meat on the table with. And we're going to move on to the next trap, which is going to be a bucket set. So hold on. Alright, so our next type of trap is the bucket set, and it's very easy to do. It's pretty much no different than the trail set, other than you use more bait, and obviously you use a bucket, and you want to stake off both sides of the bucket so that they can't move it. And if you don't have something to back it up against, like what we've got it up against here, then put a stake in the back. Stake it with 2 to 3 stakes on both sides of the conibear, and sometimes I'll need to lift it up off the ground a little bit. But other than that, it's pretty simple. You can set one of these up in 10 minutes or less. They're highly effective, and this is definitely a good way to put more meat on the table. And the next trap we're going to take a look at is a box trap. Alright, our next type of trap is the box trap, and this thing is great for a lot of reasons. If you catch something that you don't want or never intended to kill, obviously a box trap isn't going to hurt them. This is a live trap, whereas the other trap is a kill trap. And you can use this kind of trap to catch things like rabbits, and you can create your own kind of domesticated herd, literally. Within, let's say you've got a rabbit problem in your garden, Well, you take some box traps, build yourself a nice enclosed fence area with a little shelter in it, and you just start catching rabbits and throwing them in there and let them breed, and you've basically got a reproducible food source. So, you know, for the amount of money that these things are, I think they're worth it, especially for, you know, things like that, especially if you've got nuisance animals that you don't particularly want to kill. So this is definitely something, there's a lot of different sizes. They're real simple to set. And well, I'll give you a close-up. Hold tight. Now the box trap is very simplistic in its design, and it's real easy to set. Basically it works off a trigger right here, and it just hooks into this little bar right here to keep this gate up, and the trigger runs all the way around here to a pedal, and you put the bait back here at the rear of the trap, and the animal will step on the pedal in order to get to the bait, and he trips the trigger. And I'll show that to you. So animal walks in, he says and there goes the gate, closes in on him. It's that simple. Like I said, you catch you a whole herd of rabbits, get them to breeding, and you got a reproducible meat source. So the box trap and the conibear trap are just a couple of traps that you can use, you know, to not only protect your garden, but also to put quite a bit of meat on the table. I'm not going to cover any more techniques than that. I mean, you can use your own imagination. There's deer snares. I mean, just tons and tons of different stuff that you can use. All these products are fairly cheap. You know, you're not looking at spending more than $10 for a conibear trap, if that. There's leg holds, snares are only $2 to $3 a piece, and you know, there's no excuse that you shouldn't have some of these in your stockpile. I know, you know, a lot of people are into putting, you know, years and years worth of food back, but they can't reproduce it on their own. I could take, you know, 5% of what they spend on food preparations that could get stolen, or you know, they may have to leave in an emergency and then they wouldn't have that food, whereas I can throw these traps in my bag or in a truck or whatever, and if I have to bug out, I can take them with me and I can put food on the table over and over and over again. They don't wear out, they're not going to break on you, they're pretty much indestructible. So, you know, I hope that y'all take this information and use it for your own benefit. It's, you know, truly a great way to feed your family, especially if you're not picky about what you're eating, because you'd be surprised at some of these meat sources. You know, a lot of people are, ooh, I don't want to eat that, and then they try it when it's properly prepared and it tastes as good or better than anything they buy in the store. So, you know, we appreciate any kind of commentary you can throw in on this subject, and you know, please help support us by subscribing. We're just trying to create an encyclopedia of videos out here to help everybody, you know, be prepared for anything that might happen. And you know, we don't pull any punches as far as secrets. I put it all out there. I'm not in this for the money or anything like that. We do this for, you know, making the country better as a whole. So, you know, please help support us. Tell your friends about what we're doing, and thank you for your time.